jeg heter Pedro Lemos og jobber som fotograf og videoprodusent. Jeg kommer fra Brasil og bor i Norge i ca. 2 år. I dag, du skal bli litt kjent med meg. Jeg liker å ta sportsbilder og sånt.
Stop! You just can't do a video talking about yourself and
Hvorfor
what
ikke?
you like to do. Camera settings, blah, blah, blah. It's so boring.
Var dere ikke god?
Yeah, but you should tell a story. Your background, deeper look into Pedro.
Really? You think that would be better?
It's much more interesting. How good is your Norwegian?
God nok, I guess.
Ikke så god.
Let's switch to English and we can start over. But this time, from the real beginning. To get to know me and why I'm a content creator, you need to know at least a little bit of my story. Growing up in Brazil around the favelas were not easy. The society and the TV were constantly messing with your mind. You see a lot, you experience a lot. I used to blame the system for everything, until the day I start to understand my family ancestors. What my mom and dad did to be where they were, and I was fascinated. They explained everything and told me a phrase I will never forget. The more you complain, the worse it will get, son. Why you don't just go and try to find a solution for the problem instead? I was still a kid back then and didn't understand much, but that phrase would shape me into what I am today. Growing up, I was always into sports, skateboarding, surf, a little bit of everything. And like every Brazilian, I thought I could become a football player, play in Europe, the national team, just like you see on TVs. Well, the reality was different. I dropped out of school to play football, which fortunately I played professional till around 18 years old, but things changed pretty fast where I come from. And due to lack of motivation, system failure, corruption, and many other things, unfortunately I had to give up on my dream. After I stopped with football, I got a job as a pool cleaner, but I quickly realized that was something I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. So I started looking for alternatives, and it was skateboarding.
For real, niggas who ain't got no feelings.
I have always loved the culture, the lifestyle, the creativity, and everything around and about it. Tired of the Brazilian lifestyle, I would like to try something new. I saved up some money, talked to a friend in Portugal. I decided to move to Lisbon for a new challenge
Pedro,
and a new life.
people doesn't have
Oops.
all night. Get to the point.
Let's take it to the content creation part. Well, during this working process in Brazil, that's when everything started. My friends were filming a skateboarding video in Rio, and I love it how they work. One guy following the other with skateboarding, filming, having fun. That was amazing. I started to join every session. I was not filming, I was just looking how everything works. But after a while I started operating the cameras, asking a lot of questions, and I got really interested in this filming environment. And I felt something like I haven't felt since I left football, and that was a really good thing. Filming with my friends was the best start I could have ever asked for. It was really fun. We could film whenever we want, there was no rules, no limits, we filmed how we want. And the beginning in Lisbon wasn't easy. As an immigrant, you need to fight your way through. First, it was quite hard to get jobs, but I knew with skateboarding it was even harder. But I made it happen in the beginning. I was living out of skateboarding contest. It sounds weird, but it worked. I won a lot of best street contests and I was making some money, but I was not good enough to always win. So I started to look for alternatives. And it was filming, of course. One day, I borrowed a camera from a friend and filmed my whole skateboarding contest. Went home and typed on YouTube how to edit a video. So I used to film a lot with my friends, but I never edit. I spent the whole night editing this video, slept, and the next day the video was everywhere. And then everything changed. In Portugal, it was not a common thing to have a video on the internet 24 hours after the contest was done. As my parents always say, look for opportunity. Well, it looks like I found mine. I wasn't good enough, and I knew that, but the good enough filmers were not good enough to deliver it fast, and that was my opportunity. One skateboarding magazine from Portugal contacted me. They told me they wanted to work with me. However, I explained to them that that was the first video I have ever edited. They didn't care much. They just wanted it fast on the internet. And they told me what I did was good enough. And I explained that I didn't have a camera, a computer, or any resources to film a contest again. But I had desire to learn and do whatever it takes to make it happen because I love it. He immediately shaking my hand and say, "We're gonna make it happen." Some days after, he bought me some equipment to start with. I spent most of my time watching tutorials on YouTube, practicing, making mistakes, and learning how to film and edit. I continued working with the magazine who gave me the opportunity in the first place, and one day I went from this little magazine in Portugal straight to Red Bull Media House, where I was one of their main freelancers in Europe, and for 6 years I traveled the world filming their skaters and some skate contests, and it was amazing. Meanwhile, I was traveling but couldn't speak much English. I had a chance to go to the US to do some work and learn English. While living there, I got a job at Right Channel, which was a Tony Hawk company. Yes, Tony Hawk, video game with Tony Hawk. After many years only working with skateboarding, I had to start migrating to another sports and another industry. Skateboarding had some dark times where companies were not paying the filmers, and I was already living in Barcelona and also decided to go back to football world, where I started playing again just for fun, but also working as a content creator for football clubs and other business. Even had the opportunity to work at Barcelona with Felipe Coutinho, where I was shooting in many times at his place or at Camp Nou when Barcelona was playing. It was a really cool experience. I've always taken some photos, but I was mainly a filmmaker. But one day I decided to take it more serious and learn photography. I started to shoot more photos, learn composition, lights, and everything about it. But I also felt in love with it because with filmmaking you have several shots where you edit them and you have to create a story. But with photography, you gotta get the viewer to experience everything you'd experience in a video, but one single frame. After some years in Barcelona, my girlfriend decided to go back to Norway, and I joined her. There I go again. New life, new language, new challenges. Unfortunately, things were not easy in the beginning. I had to get myself a job at a warehouse, but not as a content creator. Took the job I got, and I worked my way through again. I was taking trashes, fixing boxes, and I thought it could be temporary, but I didn't know how expensive Norway was. I continued working there for a year, but even though I tried to be creative, taking trashes and fixing boxes, that was not enough, and was unfortunately messing up with my mind. It was affecting my health, physically and mentally. I needed to have a source of income to pay my bills, but the moment I changed my mentality and my way to think about it, that was when everything changed. I quitted the job at the warehouse, and I decided to take the risk of having zero income for a while and put all my energy into building Lemos Media. I see risky as an opportunity to find yourself, to see through the risk and find alternatives, and especially when you are taking the risk of starting to work for yourself. You're gonna be under constantly pressure, because if it's not working, it's all your fault. It means you doing or did something wrong, but if it's successful, it's all your merit. You made it happen. It's up to yourself, and I like that. I took the risk and I couldn't be happier. On my first month, I landed 3 clients. I was able to double what I was getting in the warehouse. We're making what I love, got my own office, everything was perfect. And then, boom, Corona came.
Vanskelig tid for Norge og for verden. I denne perioden som vi har foran oss, vil alle få en annerledes hverdag. Koronaviruset sprer seg raskt.
Pedro, knock are knock. You have to continue another time. Why are you a content creator?
Let's go back. I have always been an active kid and loved to do creative stuff. I always had a lot of ideas, loved to try things out. And pretty much that's what photography and filmmaking is all about. You have ideas, be creative, and you try things out. So when I started doing it, I found it fascinating and wanted to do that forever. The fact you can make a moment forever remembered it's unbelievable. When they look into your picture or your video and they start immediately to think about that moment when you took the picture or when you made the video, this is something really powerful for me.
What kind of creator are you?
kind of shot a little bit of everything, but what I like the most is definitely action sports or sports in general, but also storytelling. I love to show and tell a story about someone, their life, their journey, whatever it is. So as life has taught me, there are challenges everywhere. My strength is definitely improvising. I love to improvise. Where you think like, oh, that could be nice to do like that way, but we don't have that camera, that lens, or that light, or whatever it is, and then you have to find a way to kind of replicate that and make as close as possible. That's definitely something I like to do, it move things around and trying to improvise and fixing things. And for me, that's what I'm a creator, and I love that. All you need is just an idea and to be creative. The rest is up to you. So you gotta just create.